So I guess that's pretty much it. Your company is a specific, well, it has been so far a specific type of gaming. So if you want to tell us a little bit about that, because I think it's really interesting.
So geoteaming started with trying to meld my three passions. I asked myself this very simple question, which was, I had this belief in life. I always knew there was something I was supposed to do. I just didn't know what it was. And I ended up hiring an executive coach and had this 2-day Jerry Maguire experience where I wrote the entire business plan for this company, right? And it's cool. It's around technology and adventure to create human change. Again, technology, adventure to create human change. And out of that has come all these different types of things. But one of them emerged, in the training and event business. If you get something that you can do over 950 times, you have something. And this was based upon something very simple. It's called geocaching. It's a high-tech treasure hunt with GPS receivers. It started in the year 2000, and the sport has exploded, including a huge event that attracts 8,000 geocachers from the world called Geo Woodstock. Yeah. We've been doing this event. We do about 140 a year, and what we do is we custom build a course for a client that meets their goals. And let's say we had 80 people. There'd be 10 teams of 8. They all get GPS receivers, digital cameras, either pocket PCs. Now we're playing over web-enabled cell phones. And you use all these clues and try and get to as many locations as much as possible versus the other teams. In addition to that, we do cross-team collaboration, because now the 10 teams have to get to, let's say, 20 different locations to achieve a company goal. So what we're doing now, and this is a really important part of what you said in terms of this, we always ask ourselves, if we're asking them to do it, why are we asking them to do this? Mm-hmm. Even things that look kind of silly and innocuous in the beginning, we actually have a reason for it, and we'll do at the end when we pull back the curtain and tell you what it is at the end.
Nice.
And this event is really unique in the fact that, let's say you and I are on different teams. It shows the dynamics between us competing against each other. In addition, you and I have to work with each other because we're supposed to be working for the same company.
Right.
And it just shows you, out of this event, the unique lesson that comes out of it, out of 950 teams, only 7 have ever achieved the highest score possible. And to do that, you really have to learn how to collaborate. It just shows me that the American Fortune 500 companies have no idea how to do this. And that's a great window of value opportunity, which gets you back into fun, that says, how can this add value to me?
Yeah, very, very cool. I mean, I've been fascinated with the concept ever since we very first met. So I love telling people about it. I'm glad that we're able to share it with other people. So pretty much, I mean, we're running out of time here, but I just want to, if there was anything that you could, piece of advice that you could give a meeting planner who was trying to think, how can I start introducing games into my program? What would be a good way for them to kind of take that first step? Is there a first step? And, if they do want to do this, is there any advice that you have?
Yeah, I think, anything that you can do around here. So go read up on it, do research, but look, we already know about gaming because it's about incentives. At meetings, we have all sorts of different types of incentives. And as meeting planners, we too now need to really think about not just the logistics of the meeting, but what's the value of the meeting. If you your 3 major goals from this, which is either networking, or they need to learn something by the end of this, or they need to sell more after they meet with that, take that and build even a small game that increases their knowledge and capability in that area. I think once you have a success with that, you'll get hooked on gaming. Also, you'll see that there's at least 80% of the people are highly competitive. When you see their level of engagement, you'll not only get smiles on the cheeks, but you'll also get that retention and knowledge and value at the back. So I'd say start small, go forward, and if you have borrow people who have already done it before. Just like everything else, these events only get better with experience. So make sure you choose somebody who has done it a lot, because what you're paying for is that they have already made all the mistakes in the past, and you're going to pay for them to avoid that. So I guess that's my best advice with them. And experiment with it. Come with that light risk-taking without, going overboard, but take a risk so that you can really see the rewards from unique and new approach.
I love, love, love that you talked about risk and experimentation and making sure that everybody knows, that you're trying something. And, when it becomes that kind of, we're all in this together, it's amazing how forgiving people will become, right? Hey, we're trying it.
And people have been to enough meetings now that if you give them the same old thing, they're going to fall asleep. So they're looking for something new. They're looking for you to take that risk.
Amen. So thank you so much, John. I really appreciate your time today. Everybody, I will make sure, I've got a list of links now that I'm thinking through in my head that I'll make sure I provide in the blog. And thanks again for your time, John.
Thanks, Midori. Great catching up with you.
You too.